Hi, my name is Matt Pearson, and I am a graduate student at the University of San Diego. I'm here today to tell you about some fast facts regarding ELL students in STEAM education learners.
Whoa.
First, some misconceptions.
Misconception number one. We don't have a lot of ELL students. Why are we worrying about this? Because geographically, well, you might state to state, the percentages aren't the same for the number of ELL students. However, if you look at the population increase from 1990 to 1999 of about 6% across the board, and compare that to 138% increase in ELL students, it's a big change. California alone is going from 15% 10 years ago upwards of 25 and sometimes 35% in a single class. Misconception number two, exposure and interaction will result in English learning. Well, that's not the case. When you're a student and you're learning a foreign language and you're trying to converse with somebody in a foreign language and learn that language and getting bombarded with science or tech or engineering or art or math and all these concepts, and you need to practice them and you need to argue the science behind something and then present the science, it's much more complicated and takes a bit more effort than just exposing students to English speaking. Misconception number three. Some teachers will say, this ELL student can speak fine when they're talking to their friends and they're socially engaging, but they can't seem to really figure it out. They don't get it in science class. Well, they don't get it not because they can't speak the language or converse or talk about movies. They don't get it because we're talking about digesting new information and writing about it and arguing points and counterpoints and presenting it. Misconception 4. I think we're up to 4 misconceptions now. Let's see. There's so many acronyms on this one. I have to do a little bit of reading. So, Common Core, Next Generation Science Standards, National Science Education Standards, Principles and Standards of School Mathematics, National Standards of Social Studies Teachers. There's a lot of them. There's a whole bunch of them. They're all developed curriculum and standards for English-speaking students. They address a diverse population of English-speaking students, but not ELL students. What can you do? Well, let's talk about what we can do to help these ELL students. So we had our fast facts, which basically were a whole bunch of misconceptions. And now, what can we do to address these misconceptions and help these ELL students? Let's look. We have a few, well, it's kind of corny, but I'm going to call them fast tips. Fast tips. Fast tips. Fast tips. Fast tips look a little bleak in some of these articles, I gotta say. I don't know what to tell you. They don't have any answers. How do we give the linguistic skills to these science teachers to have them deal with students that can't speak English inside a science classroom? It's hard. Well, guess what? There is tech. There is technology. There are online tools. We can deepen the curiosity and the interest for all learners, including the ELL students. We can also bridge the gap from teacher to student with online collaboration tools that allow translations in real time. So the long and the short of it is that we have a lot of misconceptions. We need to clear up those misconceptions through professional development, through education of our teachers. There are online tools available to these teachers, to these students. They should be used in the classroom to enhance the experience and facilitate the learning of both English and the content and the skills in science, engineering, tech, art, and of course math.